right, let's get started. I'm gonna do some examples of, with some angle problems, different kinds of angle problems, just to give you some exposure. And then you have a Google form for homework today, okay? So let's take a look at the first angle problem. You have 3x minus 3 degrees and 147 degrees, okay? Vertical angles drawn to their own beat, supplementary, complementary, adjacent angles all have their way of their methods, but these ones are the only ones that are like this. We know these are vertical angles, and we know that vertical angles have the same measure. Now, part of the standard is that you have to be able to write an equation to represent this. So while I'm not collecting your homework on paper, you still need to make sure you know how to write the equation because you're graded on your equations, okay? So vertical angles, this angle is equal to this angle. So we can say 3x minus 3 is equal to 147, okay? Then we just solve the equation to find the value of x. Okay, and I find that the value of x is 50. Goodness. You guys, I need more coffee. All right. So that's vertical angles. And now let's look at some others. Let's look at some adjacent angles. You're going to notice in the homework tonight, the adjacent angle problems look a little funky because in the program that I use, they give you the measure on the outside of the angle instead of the inside of the angle. But you can quickly figure out what the inside measure is by just subtracting from 180. And I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. All right. So we're also given that the measure of the big angle, x, y, z, is equal to 60 degrees, okay? And like I said, in your homework, it's gonna look like this, which is weird, right? But if you just subtract the exterior measurement from 360, it'll give you the interior measure of it. Okay, so for these kinds of problems, we're saying that the measure of this angle plus the measure of this angle equals the measure of the whole angle, which is 60. So when we write our equation, we're going to do 3x plus 27 is equal to the whole thing, which is 60. And then I'm just going to solve my equation. And I get that the value of x is 11. Okay. Anyone know what kind of angles these are? Say it out. They actually are adjacent because they're neighbors, right? But these are special adjacent angles. Say it out. Yeah, supplementary. So what do they add up to? 180. Whenever you have that straight line, or the straight line through here, like if I cover that up, these are supplementary. Okay, so that means the measure of this angle plus the measure of this angle equals 180. So see if you can write and solve an equation for that. Hopefully your equation looks something like this. What did you guys get for the value of x? Okay. A lot of people, I wasn't sure if you were going to get it or not, because a lot of people accidentally divide both sides by 2 here, which is not correct, because if I divide a half by 2, I get 1/4. So what I really need to do here is multiply both sides by 2. Okay, then that cancels out and you're left with x is equal to 288. Good. Okay, let's try one more that has a lot going on so that you guys can see all the different ways we can look at these problems. In the other class, I had thought up of 4 different ways I could solve this. And then students came up with more ways. So by the end of looking at this problem, we had 6 different ways of looking at this and solving it. So we'll see what you guys see. All right, take a look. See if you can figure out what x is. Write an equation, solve it. And then in a couple minutes, we'll talk through the different strategies you guys used. There's lots of different strategies. Okay, what did you guys get for X? 5. Okay, does someone want to share how they did it? Macy, go ahead, start us off.
I put 2x plus 71 plus 9 equals 90.
And how did you know that that added to 90?
Because it said there was a right angle.
And how did you know that that 9? How did you know that 9 and this angle added to 90 degrees?
I forgot what it's called, but like the one across from it is the same, so it was supposed to be
Vertical, yeah. So you're saying you just knew that these were vertical, so this was 9, and then that whole thing was 90, right? Cool. Okay, did anyone look at it differently? Approach it differently? Nobody? Nobody's going to share? Okay, here, let's talk through a couple of things that I saw in my last class. One person saw that this was 90 degrees, and then they also did the vertical angle thing, and then added all of that for 180. I saw that you could also do kind of the same thing here, because if this is a right angle, then that means this is a right angle. So this plus this is all 180. If you wanted to get super crazy, you could say this is 9, this is 9, 90, 90. This is 2x plus 71, this is 2x plus 71, and add it all up to equal 360. Okay? So there's all kinds of different ways to look at this problem, right? So I'm going to give you the rest of the time to work on your homework. If you are done working with your homework, I still want you to work on math, okay? So pull up some IXL codes. All the starred ones will benefit you either on the CASP or currently, okay?